Stephen A.
Yes.
Is AD's poor play in the second half concerning?
Atrocious.
Oh.
Very concerning. Ladies and gentlemen, you just saw the reason why the Los Angeles Lakers ain't going to win no championship this year. You talk all of this mess in the offseason. I'm so ticked off at Anthony Davis right now. It's an embarrassment what happened with him yesterday. And we got to call it like we see it, okay? When this brother brings his A game, he's one of the top 7 players on the planet Earth. Charles Barkley calls him street clothes. I said no. I call him Six Flags. He's a roller coaster. He's up and down. You never know what you're going to get. He'll drop 41 game. He'll drop 11 the next, like he did between games 1 and 2 in the postseason last year. I believe it was against Denver. You turn around, you got 18 points, 17 points in the first half, okay? In the second half, let's look at the numbers, okay? Second half, 18 minutes. 0 points. Zero! I mean, Anthony Davis, that's trash. 0? Really? I mean, that's just embarrassing. Then you're going to go to this. 0 for 6 from the field. Not a single free throw attempt. Nothing. Darvin Ham, didn't I tell you don't tell that brother to shoot threes? Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you need to get his big behind down in the post and be the man that he's supposed to be? You got skills, otherworldly skills. And you're going to put forth a trashy performance like that in the second half against the reigning defending NBA champions who, by the way, en route to get into the finals, swept you to do it. In the offseason, you sat up there, Anthony Davis, and what did you say? Oh, we heard him. We heard them. They were talking a lot. They were talking, oh, me and LBJ, man, we can't wait. We can't wait. And then you do this? LeBron James was Mike. Why do you think it was Mike? Because he wanted the world to hear him imploring you to be that dude. Because he believes in you. He's in his 21st season. He's approaching 40 years of age and consistently showing up and outplaying you, Anthony Davis. A trash performance. 0 for 6 from the field in the second half. 0 free throw attempts. The Lakers were minus 11 with this brother on the court. And oh, by the way, yo, last night, Davis 0 for 6 from the field in the second half. The rest of the Lakers shot 54% from the field, which means if this brother did his job, they'd have won the game last night. Horrible. And it's an indication of what's to come. Anthony Davis is a superstar when his A game shows up. But you can't trust his A game to show up consistently, which means you cannot trust that the Los Angeles Lakers are going to get to the finals. Shannon Sharp, your prediction is already wrong. Floor is yours.
So in August, let's not even worry about what the Lakers said about the Nuggets. Let's look at what the actions have been. In August, they gave him 3 years, $186 million.
$62 million per year.
Same deal that Giannis just got 2 days ago. The things that they said at that time about AD, they practically were ready to put the statue up. They come into this season and they unveil last night their plan for LeBron James, which apparently is to play him as few minutes as he's played since he was in grade school. They played him 29 minutes in this game, okay? When LeBron was off the court and AD was on it, minus 19. Now, they're playing Denver, in Denver. That's not going to be the same every night, but eventually they're going to have to win those games.
Yes.
And that plan and that contract, if they're going to stick to this plan of playing LeBron these many minutes, they got to have big minutes, big production from AD when LeBron's off the court. Got to. And frankly, when he goes up against Jokic, he can dominate that matchup when he's on offense. He can score over him. And he did in the first quarter, or in the first half last night, 17 points. And they brought some double teams in the second half. But that's one of the reasons why Darvin Ham wants him to go out to the three-point line. All of this was planned. They gave him the extension. They planned this thing for LeBron. They designed some new things in their offense to make sure Anthony Davis could deliver. And already we're 1 game in, and you're questioning whether the whole plan is going to work.
That's right.
When Aaron Judge goes 0 for 4, can I talk?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
When Aaron Judge goes...
Maybe not about baseball, but yeah. I guess
baseball a little later. When Aaron Judge goes 0 for 4, I'll bring up a baseball thing.
Yeah,
in game 1 of 162 with 3 strikeouts, do we kill him the next day?
No.
This is the first game of 82. This season is endless. He hopefully will play into June. You're going to make a big stink about the second half against the world champs. And how many times does the world champs in the NBA lose their opener the next year?
Actually, it happens quite a bit.
It does? They lose the opener? It doesn't happen in football. Does it happen in basketball?
Well, the
it does
Lakers have lost 7 straight openers, the longest active streak in the NBA.
All right,
if you
but
want
the,
me to-
The Los Angeles Lakers.
7 straight season
but the
openers.
defending champ is Denver, and
Yeah.
usually the defending champ on banner night, I
And
thought,
you know what?
would win
You
the
know what,
game.
Dog, they look great. The Nuggets look great in this game.
And you guys are making a big deal about the second half
Is that a
of game one.
rhetorical
Are you
question?
kidding me,
Is that a
Steve?
rhetorical question, or do you want me
But
to
I
answer
know
it?
you better. I don't understand what you're getting at. What are you trying to pep him up a little
I'm
bit?
getting at the fact that Anthony Davis is a superstar talent in this league. He bloviated about needing to show they couldn't wait. It was the opponent he did it against. They just swept you, man. They swept you en route to their first championship. You talked smack in the offseason about how badly you wanted them because of the smack they talked about you to your face on the court while they were busting your ass. That's what you said. And then you finally get your hands on them and you show up in the second half and you are a complete no-show and you're the only one who's a complete no-show? LeBron James was held back by Darvin Ham. Look at the pieces that they have in place. Everybody else showed up 54% shooting from the field in the second half, and the only person that didn't show up was you. After all of that junk you were talking, after you got $62 million. $62 million.
Well, that's the Lakers' fault.
Listen, not the Lakers' fault. I'm not even saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm telling you the brother can play. Because of his greatness, if you're a scrub and you can't ball, if you're Stephen A. throwing out the damn first pitch, it makes sense. But if you're Anthony Davis and you get $186 million and you get to the Western Conference Finals and you're busting everybody's living butt when you bring your A game, and these guys swept you, not just beat you, swept you, brought out the broomsticks, came into your house, sent you home for the season via a sweep, and you're talking about how they were talking junk about you, and you get interviewed by James Worthy on local television, and you swear up and down that, yo, I can't wait, and this is what we see. That is not a good sign. That is not a good sign.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Is this a little personal for you?
No!
I'm just wondering because you love LA, and now you're worried the Lakers aren't going to be good, and you're not going to get to be in LA.
That is not where my mind is today.
Are you just trying? Mom, I'm wondering, are you trying to get an inspired performance out of them next time?
I love time out. I love basketball. I want to see greatness. You talk. I can't wait to see Paul George against Devin Booker because of what they've been talking about. This is what basketball is. Moments. Yo, Jokic bust your butt. They swept you. You said it. You said they were talking junk about you. We waiting for you to show up, and that's what you did. That's what you did. So now you're going to show up against, who the hell can I think about? Portland. It could be Orlando or Portland or somebody, and you might drop 40 then. Oh, there goes Anthony Davis. Nah, the champion showed up in your house, in their house rather. You were there. You watched them celebrate. You were there while they were getting their rings, and they did it at your expense. And you respond with us over in the second half?
All right.
They play Phoenix tomorrow.
No.
They get to play Phoenix tomorrow. He gets another chance. Dog, we'll see what happens.
24 minutes of one game that season. That it's October 23rd.
They're going to the playoffs.
Speaking of
They're going to the playoffs.
Phoenix,
What they going to do after that if Anthony Davis is inconsistent? Nothing.
Mad Dog, who's the bigger threat to win the West? Would you say it's the Warriors or the Suns?
I like the Warriors in tested. First off, Draymond Green didn't play last night, and nor did Beal.
Yeah.
So let's not make this a referendum on the teams are not whole yet.
That's a very
That's the
valid
first thing.
point.
Second thing is Phoenix. What are they going to get a little resolve because they won the first game of the year against Golden State? Golden State's got 4 championships. Phoenix in the last 2 years in the postseason, they didn't show up against Doncic. They got destroyed. They got booed out of the court at halftime in Game 7 against Dallas 2 years ago. And last year they fell apart against Denver so much that they fired Monty Williams. So what Phoenix does in Game 1 against Golden State that's not whole, and Golden State plays the long game. Golden State right now says, you know what, we're on 45, 48, 50 games. Let's get a decent seed, and we'll take a crack, get healthy, postseason, get Paul in the mix, screen, everything. That's what Golden State's got bigger fish to fry. Phoenix has never won a thing. So the idea now that Phoenix thinks on October 24th, and I don't know if they do think this, but if they think on October 24th, hey, look at us, we beat Golden State, that's a big-time team, Curry and everything, and Durant played well, and Booker had a great finish. He assisted on the last 12 points of the game. He has 32 points, and Paul, look at him. Not Paul. Nobody cares. Beal didn't play. Paul and Golden State. Nobody cares. It's game one of that. That's his point. I don't understand his point. Anthony Davis now is a bum because he played a bad 12 minutes.
I didn't say he was a bum.
Yes, you did.
No, I said he's disappointing. I expected more. You can say it all the way. You can. This ain't your day to get away with being hyperbolic. Okay, I'm not threatening to retire. Okay, I feel the way that I feel because I expected more from him and he didn't show up in the second half against an NBA champion. He talked smack about in the offseason and said, we can't wait, we want a piece of them. And LeBron showed up and he did it. Again, left LeBron hanging. Just like he did in game 4 last year. LeBron got 40, 10 and 9 in a closeout game. We looking, got an APB out for AD. Unacceptable.
He won a championship, Steve, for them.
I understand
Be fair.
that. I understand
So
that.
I would say,
I'm saying he's great.
Point,
be great.
In October, so the first day doesn't mean nothing, doesn't mean everything, but it means something. Okay, and so that loss, and the way AD played, meant something. Doesn't mean they can't correct it, but it meant something. And this win for the Suns meant something. And here's why: no Beal. They go in there, they get Durant. Durant was awful last night. I don't know if he was just a bad shooting night. He was 7 of 22. He's playing in front of fans at the Chase Center for the first time. They did give him a standing ovation. Maybe he was a little keyed up. Didn't have a good game. Down the stretch of this game, the two things that the Suns are doing that they think is going to lead them to where the Nuggets were last year: Devin Booker, a point guard, and these role players that they went to every crevice in the league to put together, they believe can hold up. So down the stretch of this game, Devin Booker making plays. Kevin Durant hasn't touched the ball the last 3 possessions.
Right.
On the road, in Golden State, tough environment. Even though the Warriors didn't play well, Mad Dog, they had one of their. I bet this would be one of the worst shooting games the Warriors have the whole year. That's true. Chris Paul, 4 of 15. Okay, that's awful. But final minutes of this game, you got Devin Booker running plays as the point guard, getting collapsed on, distributing to Eric Gordon, distributing to Yusef Nurkic, and those guys delivering. They believe that this team, that this roster, these supporting cast that they put together, Drew Eubanks, a guy who, when they signed him, nobody thought twice. He was great in this game. Utah Watanabe, great in this game.
Yep.
And I know they're not going to decide whether they're going to get to the finals based on what Eric Gordon probably does, but to go into there and win that game was a huge step forward for the Suns. And now they get the Lakers. And maybe Bradley Beal's back for that game, and they get to take the wraps off their team. Huge early first-day statement from the Suns.
Suns won 64 games. Was it 2 years ago?
And they looked great, and I thought they were winning the whole thing.
And they went to and they played Dallas. They couldn't win a road game,
right.
And they were down 40 at the half. Chris Paul, to embarrassment, 1 point. Doncic had about 25.
Mm-hmm.
And 14 of those guys are gone.
But Durant, he wasn't there then, I understand that. But the franchise itself, the culture of the franchise is the same. Mm-hmm. And until they get past those last year they didn't do anything against Denver. They got killed in game 6. Mm-hmm. They were not competitive. So until they get to that level, I can't take Phoenix seriously.
The Suns, I'm going to tell you that they're a bigger threat right now. I think that Golden State is lacking in some size. I also think Klay Thompson has to show me he can still be Klay Thompson. Had 15 points last night. He can make big shots. I understand that. But over the course of an 82-game schedule in the postseason, over the course of the majority of those games and those minutes that he's going to accumulate, is some time creeping in where he's not going to be what he once was. He talked about this offseason being the most important of his career. I didn't see evidence of that last night. Again, he made some shots. I get all of that. I understand it. I appreciate it. I love me some Klay Thompson. But he needs to be what he used to be in order for the Golden State Warriors to have a chance. You cannot ask Steph Curry to carry the load that he carried last year. It's just too much to ask of him. That is not going to work, okay? Which is one of the reasons why CP3 is there to some degree, going to take the load off, cut down on the turnovers, upgrade that second unit with Moody and Kuminga and guys like that, help bring them along, help Steve Kerr bring them along. Here's my thing with the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant, to me, we all know how I feel about KD, the brother's big time. Last 3 games, not that impressive. Game 5, Game 6, shot 42, 41% respectively in those closeout game losses to Denver, okay, in games 5 and 6 of that Western Conference semifinal series. He starts off this year. We see him last night. What he shoots, 7 for 22. Not impressive. We're not used to seeing that level of inefficiency offensively from Kevin Durant. That slightly concerns me. I am not concerned. Let me say this for the record. I'm a huge Devin Booker fan. This brother is Kobe-esque to me. His talent, his game, the smoothness, he's just a professional scoring machine. He is unstoppable, okay? And I'm telling y'all right now, this brother being the point guard, having the ball in his hands, down the stretch like you pointed out, two very, very big things to point out. A, he was running the show. The ball was in his hands. And B, he elected not to give it to KD. And you know why? None of us said anything, because he don't have to, because he Devin Booker. He's coming. And I'm telling you right now, Phoenix is a threat because of that brother.